Hi everyone, welcome. Tasty Tuesday, found a new home, new location this week, starting this week, but it's going to be continuing to be in this location, so it's not a only one and only kind of deal. So welcome, thank you for being here. Just going to give it a moment and see if anybody else is going to be able to join us. I kept coming up with a different word in my head. To join us live. And if such a case, I'm just going to also see here if we are live and everything is up and running properly, because that's best if I can see comments coming in or if anybody does join us. Yes, here we are. In such a case, I'm just going to also... There we go. So I just put myself on the computer on another screen and then I can just see the comments are live. Generally, I can see it. I can't guarantee always, but hopefully that's the point or the goal, that I can talk here freely and easily. And if there is people coming in, I can have a look and maybe comment or see the comments coming in. And if I am looking down, that is what I'm checking, and also perhaps checking my notes, because I do have some notes. I do like to be prepared. Although I can talk very easily off the top of my head about all these things that I want to share with you. So thank you for being here. Today's Tasty Tuesday episode is the first time to be in this amazing female cancer warrior support group. Previously I was in another group, but now I've narrowed it down, and I really want to be helping female cancer warriors to achieve their cancer-free status. And that's why I'm here to help you, and that's why you're here to watch this. And my name is Lori. I am your nutritional empowerment coach, and I'm here to support you. So thank you for being here. If you're here live, just definitely say hi. Let me know. You can also type in hashtag live. Let me know where you're viewing from as well, because I know we have viewers from all around the world. So thank you. Don't be shy. Don't be shy. It's all good. It's all good. It's a nice, safe space here. And feel free to type in any questions or comments in the feed when I'm doing the live video. And also you can DM me if you feel like it would feels better for you to do it quieter in a more private place. Hi Claire, thank you for being here. Nice to see you. So yes, today's actually episode 20, but like I said, I've shifted the location of where I'm doing the live out of, but now this is the 20th episode that I've been doing a Tasty Tuesday for, which is exciting, and I really love being here and being able to share the information with you. And today's topic is the best tips for hot weather. Now, that seems pretty obvious, and even when I was thinking about the topic, I thought, oh, that seems like really silly, Lori, because it's so basic. But because it is so basic, sometimes we tend to forget it. And specifically, if you are a cancer warrior, the reality that your body has gone through the process of already... You found the cancer within you, and now you've maybe gone through some treatments already. Maybe you're still in your treatment plan. Maybe you've passed the treatments, but in any of that stage or those spaces, your body has really gone through a lot. If you've gone through treatments to help yourself and to deal with the cancer, and that means you're more sensitive and more delicate. So we have to even take more care, and there's more importance in being mindful on the things that you do on a daily basis to help keep you cancer free, right? So again, seems pretty obvious, but actually at the same time, it's really profound and really deep. And we always, all of us, need reminders to do sometimes the seemingly as simple as things in life that can have the most profound results. So today, the best tips for hot weather. Anybody got a guess? I will not keep you waiting for much longer. Drink more water. I know, I feel like it's so simple and so easy, as I just said. And drinking more water, it is so important. I mean, it's important any time of the year, no matter if you're in a hot climate, if it's summertime or if it's wintertime, but particularly when the weather is hot and we tend to be sweating more easily. Our body temperature needs to regulate differently because we are trying to deal with the external heat. We have to drink more water, okay? So I ask you to ask yourself, and you can type it in the comments if you want, how much water do you drink on a regular basis? Can you put in, like, on average, how many cups or how many glasses of water do you think you have on a daily basis? And another interesting fact is, as we grow older, our thirst becomes less sensitive. So we don't feel thirsty as often, and therefore we don't drink as much. And water is actually the root, or sorry, not water, dehydration is the root of disease. So it's also imperative as we grow older to even be more and more careful. And I see Claire has a comment. My sister survived stage 4 metastasis. I can't even pronounce this, melanoma. Oh my goodness, my tongue is tied today. Changed her diet and all the plant food and drank lots of water. Yes, exactly. Thank you for sharing that, Claire. It's so important and often overlooked. Again, it seems like the simple things that we can do in our own, that we have the power to do in our own house, in our own kitchen, in our own life, is the things that really have the opportunity to change us profoundly. So thank you for sharing that. So really take an inventory. What is the quantity of water you're drinking on a regular basis, on a daily basis? I suggest having a water bottle. It doesn't have to be this kind. This is a clean canteen one. Stainless steel is good. I don't recommend plastic water bottles. Really, if you do have a plastic water bottle, do your best to make a purchase for either a glass one or stainless steel. It's much better for you. Unfortunately, plastic has the ability to leach into the water, and these are chemicals that disrupt our entire system that also causes cancer. So we want to get rid of those kinds of cancer-causing agents or things in our life also. So definitely having a nice water bottle on hand can help to keep you, almost like you monitor yourself on how much water you're taking in. So you always have that water bottle on your desk, for example. Or even if you prefer to drink out of a glass, your water bottle is like the measuring cup, right? You pour it in and fill your glass up. The glass is empty, you fill up your water. When the water bottle is empty, if it's a liter, you've got down 4 cups of water or 1 liter, that kind of thing. And I recommend to drink about 1 to 2 liters, closer to 2 liters a day, depending on your body weight and size. On average, 2 liters is pretty good. If we work one-on-one together, we can go deeper and see really what would be a better potential level for your body. Claire, I drink at least 1.75 to 2 liters a day. I carry 1 liter bottles everywhere I go. Absolutely awesome, Claire. Well done. Good job. Give yourself a pat on the back, because it's a habit, and that's the lifestyle habits that we need to keep. And that's just it. Do you have a plastic water bottle? You said you'll look for a glass one. Or stainless steel is also good. Glass, I have a problem with glass. I tend to break glass too much, but you can get the little kind of padding covers for the glass. Still, depends on your style. I'm a little bit too rough, I guess. I tend to break glass too easily. So stainless steel goes better for me. But if glass works for you, that's a great option. So a couple things I wanted to go over today. Better have a sip of, actually this is tea, not water. I thought about that when I was doing this, pouring my tea in and getting ready. I thought I should really have a glass of water since I'm talking about it today, but I'll also do my best to drink as much water as I can, and filling up my bottle and having it near me, or always having a glass near me is key. And I also have to take out a water bottle every time I go out. So, okay. So there is a couple things that I have made a list for myself of things I wanted to share, the importance of water, because we know that it's important. Like I say, this is very basic and simple stuff, but sometimes when we have the reasoning behind, it sinks in and it gets into that subconscious, the unconscious mind a little bit more, and helps us to bring it out on a regular basis. So water actually carries messages throughout our entire body, and it carries messages in between the cell itself. There's water that is in there necessary for the intracell communication. So in that cell, water is necessary to communicate within. Then there is communication from cell to cell. Water is necessary for this kind of communication to take place, okay? Without water, we are blocking lines of communication that is necessary for our health. And again, especially as cancer warriors, we have to take a more meticulous approach to the things we do. And it doesn't have to be hard or challenging or something that we can't accomplish, because like I say, it's really just drinking water. But you see on so many levels, as I go over the next points, how it is so important to have that, okay? You could think of it also like as in the water's carrying the messages from, like I say, even from one cell to the next. If we don't have gas in our car, how do we get drop off the parcel to the next person's house? We can't, right? So when there's no water, that's similarly like our car's out of gas. There's no line of communication there. So we really have to make sure we have enough water for everything to function properly as well from the beginning. Number two, every single reaction in your body requires water. Every single reaction. That's intense, right? So your nails need water to grow. Your hair needs water to grow. Your eyes, if you ever have dry eyes and it feels like, oh, they're scratchy and dry, all these kinds of things. Or if you ever had a, sore, dry throat. I mean, those are like some physical things that we can feel and see when we have dry eyes or a dry throat. But the fact that every single function or reaction is needed to have water in order to take place in your body is really powerful also. And things like hormonal balance, which lots of cancers can actually come into place because of imbalances in the hormones. And that's where the messenger system comes in place, right? So the water is necessary to carry these messages from place to place throughout our whole body, helping everything function properly. Water also activates nutrients. So even if you're eating healthy food and doing your best to get in a nutritious diet, if you're not drinking enough water, your body isn't going to be able to activate those nutrients. So it's just a waste. And often lack of water in such a case as well is going to cause digestion issues, constipation, things are going to get stuck. And then we're going into a whole other level of potential toxic buildup with food being stuck in our gut and toxic waste being stuck in our bowels and not being able to be released. That's another contributor to potential cancer as well. So we really want to do our best to eliminate these simple things by just drinking more water. Water, number 4, another point I have for us, contributes to helping flush out everything. And that's what I just said on the last point about like when we're not activating with the nutrients and they're getting stuck as well. The water helps to flush everything out and cleanse us. When we're getting stuck with stuff, like I say, this is contributing to potential cancer-causing agents, again, to be in our body. This is toxic. Definitely say hi if you're here. I see that there's another viewer on. I can't see who you are. Definitely don't be shy. Say hi. I'd love to get your energy and see who is here. So yeah, water is essential for cleansing. It's a simplest detox that we can do for ourselves. And lots of people also think about, I want to do this detox or that detox and all these fancy things. Not necessarily bad. Hi, Terry. Nice to see you. But drinking more water will be a natural detox that is going to help you cleanse. And an interesting point reminds me, I lived in Japan for 5 years. And if anybody who has been to Japan or lived in Japan for the summer months, it is hot. Really, really, really hot and humid in the summer. You are sweating like all the time, nonstop. And of course, everybody complains about it. That's all people ever talk about. It's like, oh, it's so hot, oh my God. Fans, and they're doing this because they're dabbing the sweat off their head. Like, you're constantly sweating. And I get it. It's hot and it's annoying, and I complained about it too. Absolutely, everybody does. But actually, I changed my mindset before I even started doing really any of this work. And I said, this heat that is around us in Japan is a natural detoxification opportunity. It is helping our body push everything out. All we need to do is replace it with the good quality water, which is another factor. Make sure you have good quality water. Just drinking any garbage water can be actually detrimental to our health as well, and potentially lead to cancer-causing agents, because there's just a lot of chemicals a lot of times in tap water. So we have to be very careful. Claire, I see that it's really not too hard, just a habit to develop. Exactly. We just have to think about how to put it in. Like I say, you carry your water bottle in your purse. Maybe you have a smaller one. This one I have here is a little bit big. It's 1 liter, because I use it for hikes, and I'll share some water with my dog and stuff like that. But sometimes a smaller one is much more convenient. If I have just a handbag, I'm not going to take this. And definitely, if it's 1 liter, it's full, it's heavy, right? So maybe even having a couple different sizes if you have, but it's definitely an interesting place. I just taking a look at the comments, Terry, or I can see it here actually. I was born with an inability to sweat. Should I be drinking more water to help my body detox? I wouldn't necessarily say more. I would still go for probably about the same, a similar average. You want to go close, I'd say hitting about a 2-liter mark a day should be reasonable. Because more doesn't necessarily mean that it's going to, it's not going to promote the sweat. Yeah, I would still go for just making sure if you can get in 2 liters a day, that's really awesome. Absolutely. That should be fine. So yeah, water for cleansing, helping us to detox. Another interesting point is that when we wash our dishes, if you still wash your dishes by hand, you use hot water, right? Cold water versus hot water. That could be a whole nother live as well. But basically, if you are, I know I said in this topic today was best tips for hot weather, but if you are in a hot climate, if you are in the winter season right now or a colder climate, you can drink hot water. Absolutely. That's something that I picked up from China as well. Just drinking hot water. And at first it seems kind of silly, but actually now I have a thermos. It's summer here right now. I have this brown thermos jug with me every day. It's hot water in here, only hot water. There was a time that it was hot coffee. Changed that pretty fast. No, not pretty fast. It was a bit of a transition, but it's hot water in there because I just love hot water. And I suggest strongly that if you are a person who really enjoys drinking cold water, do your best to at least go to room temperature, because cold is just that, it's cold. And when we look at things from a TCM perspective, from a traditional Chinese medicine perspective, cold is not ideal. We want to always have balance, right? So like I say, at least go for room temperature or something of this nature. And if you're, for example, if you keep your water in your fridge, can you start keeping it on your counter if you have a jug of water kind of thing, right? Because that cold, internally, our body needs to use energy then to warm it up. And it also, as I use the example about washing our dishes with hot water, it doesn't work very well, right? If to get that grease off, to get that stuff off, if we're using cold water. Similarly, internal in our body, you can almost think of the warmer water is helping to wash and flush everything away. So it's really actually kind of like, I feel like a beautiful analogy that the cold, it just like everything kind of like sticks and stays where it was, but the warmth and the heat helps to flush and move everything with much greater ease, which is ideal. Claire, do you have a water filter system to get quality water? Actually, where we are here in Germany, we have really good quality water out of the tap, but I do have like a Brita water filter that takes, because the water is a little bit harder here. So yeah, it depends on where you live exactly. There is different filtration systems. If you have a house, for example, you can put it in your house. That is like a really good, I think it's carbon, I'm pretty sure it's carbon process for cleansing the water is the best. I really can take a look at that and get back to you. Yes, Claire, you mentioned about the heat of the water. Exactly. And it's so simple. It doesn't require us to buy anything else. And that's really what I love about traditional Chinese medicine is we don't have to necessarily be going out and buy fancy products or buy all kinds of expensive what's the word I was going to say, expensive superfoods or something like this. Yeah, of course, there's some that we can have in our life to enhance naturally. But the base of traditional Chinese medicine approach to eating and living healthy and keeping that cancer-free status really comes down to the base things that we do in our life every day, and that essentially we all have access to. It's just a matter of making the habits, making the lifestyle choices. Another point that I had is water is healing. Water brings life force. And I've talked about life force in some of my other lives before, and I feel like I'm going to be doing another one in the near future again. But life force is basically our battery pack, to put it simple, right? So water helps to charge that battery pack. And you can think about if you've ever been taking care of plants and you maybe forgot to water them for a while, and all of a sudden they start the color goes and they start drooping and hanging over, right? And it's like, oh no, they're dying. And you just have to add a little bit of water, and usually all of a sudden within an hour or two even, it starts to bring that life force back. And now the plant has, come back to life. That's the life force that we want. And that's the healing property that water has to offer. And it's so beautiful. like I say, water is life, really. Of course, we are made up in our bodies of 60 to 70% water. Without water, we would not be here. Absolutely, right? And I mean, when we're in our mother's womb, we are in a water sac, you know, this is a water holding tank, you know, in there. Really, that's necessary for us. It couldn't be dry. We wouldn't be here. We're not those kinds of creatures on this planet. So we must drink more to help replenish. And like I say, especially if you are having hot weather right now. Another one, water is balancing. Okay, so that's an interesting one. I'm going to take another sip of my tea here first. So yeah, water is balancing. So we can think about, in terms of the sun outside, and it's fiery, it's hot. If it's summer weather for you, it's, you know, 25 degrees plus, that kind of thing, where you're just sweating basically, or you're feeling hot. That is the yang energy of the traditional Chinese medicine, the yin and the yang symbol that we have, where it's half black and half white. That powerful yang energy, that's the sun in the sky. And we have many hours of it also in the summer, right? So we have an excess of yang energy in the summertime, which is okay, because the winter, we find the other balance. However, while we're still in the summertime and having that excess of yang energy, we must to find that balance internally. The best way? Drink more water. Yay! Having that water helps to bring the balance internally. And water is of a yin property. So it's the opposite side. Water is more calming and passive. Water also can be a huge gushing waterfall, absolutely, and can be super powerful. However, in this context, we're going to refer it to the power of the sun and the heat that comes in the day. And we want to focus on consuming that water that helps to bring the balance, the nurturing, that calming, the cooling, healing. It's more passive. It's just, you can think of it, like I say, cleansing, flowing through us. It's much more passive and flowing energy to water than fire, passion, power, right? Like very different energy. So we want to do our best all the time, is to do our best to find that balancing space. And drinking more water in the summertime is key. I know, it's important. And I didn't write this in my notes, but it came up in my head a couple times now, and I just have to say it. If you are a coffee drinker, which I also am, so I'm not pointing fingers at anybody, and even, it doesn't matter, even if I wasn't, I'm not here to point fingers at anybody. If you drink coffee, you have to drink more water to replenish. Because coffee is a diuretic. Is that how you pronounce the word? My tongue is tied a little bit today. Basically, it pulls water out of our body, okay? So we want to make sure to replenish even more. So a good ratio to go by is, if you drink 1 cup of coffee, drink 2 cups of water. Then we balance it out. So that's just a little extra side tip there. Definitely, if you do drink coffee, think about drinking extra water to help replenish for yourself. And if you're not a coffee drinker, it's a good thing, actually, because we don't necessarily need coffee in our lives. Some studies do say this and that. But anyways, if you are drinking coffee, go for 2 glasses of water, because that's going to help. Oh, thank you, Claire. My pleasure. I'm happy that you're here. I really love sharing this information, and it's just, it sets my heart on fire. So I have to drink more water. No, just kidding. It's really beautiful. I love to share this with you. So Cancer warriors, as I already mentioned, Cancer warriors, your body is more sensitive because of the process and the situation that you've been through. And it doesn't have to be a bad thing. What it means is that you have the opportunity to be more mindful and to take more care of your health now. And drinking water is one simple thing that will help you to achieve that cancer-free status and to be able to maintain it. Absolutely. Absolutely. I'll give you for a few more minutes, not too much longer, a couple simple tips that are good, because sometimes water can seem a little bit boring because we're just drinking water all the time, and it's like, I don't want to drink this tasteless stuff anymore. You can add cucumber slices to water, mint, lemon. You could put them all together even if you wanted, but you could do them separately. Some pieces of fresh fruit, even like some blueberries or strawberries, whatever's in season. I always go with in season. I don't recommend to be getting something that's coming from Africa if you live in Canada, for example, I really do my best to focus on what we have local and fresh. So whatever is in season for you, give it a try, because it might be very nice. Yeah, blueberries, strawberries could be nice in the water as well. Even a couple slices of apple, maybe. I don't know, give it a try, right? You can experiment with these different things. It just adds a little bit of flavor, still feels fresh and feels something nice. Another one that I thought of actually is basil, a couple basil leaves. Terry, oh, you love mint water, so refreshing. Oh, you tried it, because I remember I mentioned it a couple lives ago. That's great. Oh, it is so refreshing. It really does just feel so good. And I also, some days when it's colder or rainy here, I'll put it in, a fresh piece of fresh piece of mint in my hot water. And then it's basically like a fresh mint tea. And that also tastes good. And mint water is really good for digestion. So if you're having any issues with digestion after you eat or something that feels like it's not going really well, have a little bit of mint water and it's good. And in that case, I would recommend going more with a warmer or hotter one, because it will also help with digestion a little bit more. So if you have any other questions, definitely let me know. I am here to support you on your journey of achieving your cancer-free status. I am passionate about the work that I do and the information that I have to share. That's why I'm here. I want to help empower you to make these healthy choices, to be able to really take your health in your hands and to do the best that you can, so you can enjoy your life with your children and your grandchildren and just enjoy without having to have that fear of potential cancer returning, or all these different things that can come into our mind. So definitely you can set up a call with me. I'm here for you. We can have a 30-minute chat, check if we're in alignment to work together or not. And we'll go over stuff. You can ask me things, I'll ask you things, and there we go. So I'll put the link in the comment section below. You can also send me a DM if you feel a little bit shy to be commenting on the page. And thank you so much for taking the time for being here. I wish you a wonderful day. Looking forward to seeing you again soon. Bye for now.